Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we've got a double Affinity, or like double XP weekend on the way, and I want to give you guys some info on that and basically how you could massively prepare to grind the most mastery rank possible this upcoming weekend. So yeah, lots of strats today, but before we go over these, make sure you sub this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, discussion videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. You're in the right place for Warframe content. And yeah, the day this event starts, there's also a big dev stream. So I'll be covering that dev stream on this channel like the same day this stuff goes up. So maybe while you're leveling some stuff up, you can watch the dev stream or later watch my review video. Okay, so let's start with the initial details right now. The Double Affinity weekend starts on November 29th at 2 p.m. ET and goes until December 2nd until 2 p.m. ET. And if you've ever dealt with a double XP weekend in Warframe before, the way that you can maximize it is actually you can get a normal Affinity booster and you can multiply the XP that they double again. So it's a 4 times XP weekend if you buy an in-game Affinity booster. So that's going to be the first tip. If you want to make the most out of this double XP weekend, all you got to do is have 40 plat. 40 plat right here, and this lasts for 3 days. That's how long the double XP weekend lasts for. So you can have the entirety of that double XP weekend quadrupled. So we can actually take it even further if we go through some additional gear, but we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, first step, have some things to level and have the double Affinity booster going. Now, how are you going to have a bunch of stuff to level up? Well, the strategy that I'd recommend to you, and also where to level this stuff up as well, go over to your foundry and build a bunch of stuff. But the thing is, I'm telling you this in advance. There's a reason I'm making this video 6 days ahead of time. You want to stack a bunch of weapons in your foundry, but do not claim them. Do not claim them until you have the available weapon space and you're ready to go on this double XP weekend. You'll be able to level up weapons you don't like, or weapons that are just not as good in a minute, a couple minutes. If you go to Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, you got a Hydron. There's other places too, but mainly Elite Sanctuary Onslaught's a place I'd recommend. You can get some rad relics from that too. You can level up weapons near instantly as long as we get a lucky first wave. That's the thing. Enemies in this game give different XP values per kill, or it's technically called Affinity. So if we get Elite Sanctuary Onslaught next week, with the first wave being Grineer, that means you will be able to max out your stuff in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught blindingly fast. It will be so quick if it's Grineer on the first wave. Now, if it's infested on the first wave, you might have to go to the second wave to max your stuff out. But yeah, hopefully it's Grineer, so we'll have to deal with that. If you do go to the second wave, though, you have a chance for a Radiant Relic, which is also very good. Now, if you're stacking up all that stuff in your foundry, what are some other things you could level up as well? Well, if you don't know this, Kuva weapons actually take 5 Forma to fully max out their mastery. So if you have a lot of Forma sitting around, you could actually max out some Kuva weapons that you don't have maxed out already. Now, they don't give as much mastery per Forma, so it's they give the normal amount of XP, that you get 200 more mastery per Forma up to level 40. So at level 40, you get 1,000 extra mastery from a Kuva weapon, but you do drop 5 Forma to get that. So just be aware of that. If you are trying to max out Kuva weapons, it's definitely diminishing returns. You can get to level 30, then after that, every form after that, it's just really not that much mastery. So if you were trying to prioritize using Forma on more specific spots, go for non-Kuva weapons. And if you are leveling everything up, you're like, okay, I level all the primes, all the other random stuff, all the Incarnons. Now you can do Kuva weapons, because Kuva weapons are a lower priority too. So, that being said, there are things that are not weapons or frames that you might want to level during this double XP weekend because, yeah, it makes it less annoying. So going over my profile, so what a lot of the mastery of this game breaks down to, you can hover over your profile here. So a lot of it does come from intrinsics, actually. So if you can see right here, Railjack intrinsics and Drifter intrinsics. Now, Drifter intrinsics are not affected by double XP weekend, but Railjack intrinsics are. So if you want to max out your Railjack intrinsics during this week, or this weekend, you can do that at an accelerated rate. So yeah, double XP from the XP weekend, quadra XP from the XP booster, and the next level, now this is technically RNG, keep that in mind, but the Smeeta cat that got fired now actually has a increased XP buff even further than before. So Count Kirby, if you are lucky enough to have this buff active, it will become a 12x XP weekend. So Charm every 27 seconds has a chance to give you a buff. One of those buffs is triple XP. So double it with the XP weekend, quadruple it with the booster, and then it's now times 12 if you have that tripled as well. So, yeah, that's going to basically max out anything in the game instantly, but it is RNG if it's an proc. So yeah, if we have an infested wave on ESO on the weekend, this will definitely help you out getting maxed out in one wave if you're lucky enough. So yeah, this could also work on a lot of other things too. So yeah, Railjack Intrinsics will be really good. Now as far as where to farm Railjack Intrinsics, unfortunately I can't really provide you with that information as well because I have had maxed out Railjack Intrinsics for years. So I can't even test what's a good one nowadays. But when I maxed out my Railjack Intrinsics, I did do stealth finishers on enemies in a cruise ship. So that can give you a lot of intrinsics, but also there are there's a Corpus Survivals in Railjack too. That could be a good place to level up a mech and get some intrinsics potentially. So maybe try that one out. But yeah, as far as some other things that are annoying to level up that you could do during this weekend, as far as amps, you could guild all your amps, and as far as how to level it up, I'm just going to go ahead and say, just go to Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, go into your operator form and have your amp out, and if your teammates are killing stuff really fast, you will soak XP into your amp and max it out relatively quickly, especially if you have, the boosters I'm recommending to you. For Arc Melee, I recommend that you go to the Salacia Mobile Defense mission on Neptune. The reason for that is it's one of the highest amount of enemy highest amount of Arcwing enemies in the game, and you cannot use these as heavy Arcwing launchers in missions. So yeah, Salacia is the one I recommend for that. It might not look that great, and it's technically not that great, but it's pretty much one of the best we got for Arc Melee. So that's going to be over here, Salacia on Neptune. I've never actually done it Steel Path, but I usually just do it normal path, to be honest. Just hope for the best. It's not the fastest thing, but leveling up Arc Melee is just not great in general. As far as the rest of the annoying stuff to level up in the game, Arcwing guns themselves, you can still do it on Salacia. Now, these are a little bit easier, actually. You can level these up if you want. Let's say you're doing a Kuva Arcwing gun like the Grattler or something, or the Ayanga. You could actually go, if you want to drop 20 plat on these, you could use 20 plat to get a heavy Arcwing gun launcher, and you can bring these into a Steel Path Grenadier Survival as Zephyr. If you shoot Zephyr's Tornadoes with the Arcwing gun, it will kill the Steel Path enemies and give you a bunch of XP for your Arcwing gun. That's how I maxed up my Grattler and my Ayanga, and actually a bunch of other Arcwing guns too, as I used Zephyr's Tornadoes and just shot them with the Arcwing gun on the Steel Path. So yeah, really easy stuff there. But if you don't want to do that, yeah, just do Salacia, honestly. For K-Drives and Necromex, this one might be a little bit more difficult for some people to get around to, but keep on, it's not a top priority, but these do technically give you mastery. So for K-Drives, just do K-Drive races. They were massively buffed as far as how much XP they give per completion. And yeah, also for K-Drive mastery, just the board is all that matters. The engines and all that does not give you mastery, just the board. So whatever these are called, Bad Baby, Fever Spine, all that stuff, these are going to give you mastery, whereas the engines will not. And as far as for mechs, we were talking about this a little bit on stream last night, trying to decide what would be the best spot to level up these mechs. But I think we ultimately decided on you should take these to Conjunction Omnia Survival, preferably a Fissure. So any mission you could summon a mech in that is not like an open world can be decent, I guess. But yeah, I'd recommend that you do this on like Omnia Void Survivals, preferably a Fissure. You can open up some relics to get a little bit more use out of your time. But also, the method I told you about earlier, the Railjack Corpus Survival could also be a decent option as well, because you could also summon your mech there. So yeah, these are also 5-form. If you want a 5-form with a mech, have fun with that. Yeah, this is probably the most annoying page in the whole game to level stuff up on, because mechs and K-Drives. At least K-Drives don't need 5-form, alright? Moving on to Companions, these should be pretty straightforward to level up. Just take them to ESO, or your leveling spot of choice. For Robotics, same exact situation, nothing really weird here. One thing to mention for sure, there is an item called the Kavasa Prime Buckle. It's a very weird, like kind of random prime item that provides no mastery. Before you level something up, make sure you didn't master already so you're not wasting your time. But yeah, Kavasa Prime Buckle, it just gives your pet some more HP. It's not even any mastery tied to this, so don't worry about that. But as far as everything else, guys, just stack it up. If you can build it and you don't want to sell for plat or whatever, and you don't have it mastered, build that, build this, build that. Just scroll down everything you can build, have it all stacked up for November 29th. And if you have time to play, that's great. If you don't have time to play, don't worry about it. We have been getting these XP weekends a lot less frequently. Like last year, I think we got like 4 of them or something crazy like that. And double credit weekends last year. This year, it has not been as many double XP weekends I've noticed. So, yeah. Make the most out of it if you want to. You can grind. You could definitely grind multiple MR levels during that double XP weekend. Not to mention, it will be pretty hype because we're going to have the newest dev stream on that same day, starting November 29th, with big information. They're going to show Cyanodyne in mission. They're going to show new enemy faction, all this kind of stuff. I'll be covering it live on my stream, so if you want to come by this live stream, come on, stop by. I might do some leveling help as well. Might play some like Saren for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, help people level up, or maybe some Mirage or something. But either way, guys, hopefully this video was fun, helpful to you. If you have any other leveling tips you want to drop in the comments, go ahead and do it. And I will see you guys on stream very soon. You guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.